Think.
Rolling.
Feeling.
3, 2, 1, action.
Hey everyone, this is Jim Root from Slipknot, and I'm here to show you my new Charvel Pro Mod San Dimas models. What kind of sparked my interest in guitars had to have been my parents, their love for music and how deep in music they were, their vinyl collection. You know, there was a turntable and 6 or 8 orange crates full of vinyl. I was immediately drawn to all that stuff. My grandpa liked to work with wood. Star Wars was a brand new thing at the time. He made me a lightsaber out of wood, and it became a guitar, you know what I mean? And my mom played tennis when she was in high school, so there were tennis rackets laying around. Anything that was somewhat guitar shaped became a guitar. Not until I really started begging and pleading for a guitar when I was 13 or so, then they kind of realized, okay, maybe we can't ignore this anymore. The first Charvel I ever got, it was over Christmas. I was so stoked over it, I freaked out. It was a Charvel Model 1. You know, it's kind of cool going back to these guitars after really not owning one since I was probably still in my teens. I mean, I'm terrible at writing lyrics and I can't sing for crap, so I have to have a guitar as my voice, and it's more of a creative outlet than anything. One of the things I noticed about these Charvels, a lot of the models I was able to just pick up from whatever online retailer and throw my pickups in them when I was playing them live. And they were, you know, $1,500 or less. To keep them around that range, it's very important to me because, you know, there's probably a lot of people out there that would love to get their hands on one. I like simplicity. I think anything that's kind of understated has a certain kind of beauty to it. And it's also ambiguous in the way that, say somebody wants an over-the-top kind of guitar. Look at this thing, they can paint on it, they can write on it, they can put stickers on it, you know, whatever. I also like the thin skin finish because I like guitars to wear in where you touch them and where you use them the most. Because I hope they see not just a tool for being creative or writing music or even just woodshedding and learning how to play guitar, but they also see it as kind of like an art piece. It seems like every time we record a record, it's mahogany guitars that tend to beat all the other guitars out. It's warmer, it's darker, it's got that kind of thing going on for the type of music that we're recording. Compound fretboard, gotta have it. If you're the type of guy that likes to run your action right across the top of the frets, it makes it really easy to set the guitar up to that real shredder kind of vibe. And if you want to bring it up, it's still comfortable enough with how narrow and wide the fretboard is. If your action's a little high, you can still kind of rip around if you want to do jazzier licks or have a little more sustain with chord progressions and things like that. The first reason I wanted to put maple on the black guitar is because it was a throwback to the Charvel that I was using during the Subliminal Verses touring cycle. And when I got the guitar, we were actually tracking the last record, and I realized that the maple fretboard wasn't as bright as I remembered it being. And it's also very similar to ebony. It's very tight grained, it's very smooth, it's very buttery feeling. And that's why I am so indecisive between the two woods, because they are in some ways very similar. I really dug the cutout in the back, having a little bit, you know, being able to get to the higher frets a little more easily. I mean, everything about it is just made for playability. Just things that I've thought about over the years as a touring and live player and also a studio player. So to bring all those aspects together into one guitar is kind of what I was trying to achieve. Every guitar that I had when I was growing up, for the most part, with the exception of the Model 1, there had a Floyd on it. I was just so used to having a Floyd bridge just because of the way it sits, you know, with your palm and all that stuff. I like to improvise a lot in solos and like when we're playing live shows. Who doesn't like doing dive bombs and things like that? So these signature pickups, I was trying to still have an active pickup, something with high output that was closer to a passive, and the response with like volume swells and just the dynamics of them. They feel really clear and saturated, and there's like a smoothness to them. If we're just playing as a band on a stage, I needed something that was clear enough and not so oversaturated that you couldn't like really decipher notes from each other, but also saturated enough that you could still get the artificial harmonics and the dive bombs and then still feel like metal-y kind of vibe stuff. But then also be able to flip up to the neck, hit a clean sound, and have like a really chimey, clean, jazzy kind of tone. When I'm switching in these pickups live and even in the studio, if we're doing a take in the studio top to bottom of a track, I'm always back and forth on these pickups. I tend to play a lot of leads on my neck pickup for whatever reason. I'm kind of weird like that. I'll start off leads, maybe back here, but if I have like an octave running a song, I'll flip up to that octave. And then for any clean stuff, I'm always on the neck pickup for clean stuff. So I've got to make sure I've got time to get up there and switch over to clean for, say, a song like Dead Memories or Devil and I, where there's clean stuff in it. Well, I was really stoked when I saw the newer Charvels coming out with the truss adjustment wheel. It's a way to get an easily adjustable neck. Touring in a live band, you're in different climates, sometimes day by day, you know, necks move around a lot. So to make it easier on myself when I'm at home playing and also to make it easier on my guitar tech, this is brilliant. These lumelles are, I mean, they're essential. Like we'll start some songs in complete pitch black, but I can look down and I can see that thing glowing and I can be like, all right, there's the 5th fret. That's where I need to be. Working on this guitar with Charvel was probably one of the easier guitars I worked with, and anything that you know, that I asked for was pretty much like, we can try that. A quick example of that would be is I had the switching layout set up like my signature Strat. Took the prototypes out on tour, loved them, they sounded great, and I realized I'm having trouble switching my pickups because of this Floyd bar. And I hit them up and I was like, hey man, can we switch the placement and put the pickup selector a little closer to where my pinky would be so I don't have to fight the bar to get around to it? And they were so accommodating and they were actually able to do it. The guitar turned out so good. It's like I just want to just play them all the time.